going crazy right now. We were, again, right when we said yesterday that we will start pumping in the fourth quarter. I will show you exactly what I'm doing right now to set myself up for massive gains in this month. So you should definitely not miss out on this episode, and let's go, guys. Let's start off directly with the weekly chart. So as you can see here, the current weekly candle is pushing beyond last week's weekly candle. So, and that is already a pretty bullish indication that we are seeing here now an attempt to potentially by the end of the week or early next week to take out the prior all-time high. So here the next major resistance on the weekly chart is around $118,000, and I will also show you here in a moment why we might stop there and start consolidating on the lower time frames a little bit before we get then that break past $20,000. Now, when we are looking at Bitcoin monthly returns, especially for the new people here that experienced their first bull run, first of all, I'm sorry for you because you have never seen a real bull run, and this current run doesn't feel like a real bull run, and everybody's hoping that this quarter will change that. So, but when you look here statistically at the Bitcoin returns over the last 12 years, then you can see only in years where we did not have a bull run, we had negative returns on Bitcoin. That happened only twice in the last 12 years. So that tells you already there is, what is the probability of that? There is a 6%. I think 6 to, so 12 to, yeah, so this is like a 6, yeah, 8%, roughly 8% chance that we're going to see another negative month this month. But if you add to that equation that we are in a bull run, it is diminishing that even less because the average return in October is 20%. So now if we go back to the last bull run in 2021, we had almost 40% return. And here in 2017, we had 47.8%. So if you just go by bull runs, then we should have at least a 35% return. Again, you have to think about diminishing returns over time, especially with more coins being launched. So there's a dilution of the money that's happening in the market, and of course then it's not as much as gains possible anymore than in the previous cycles, and also that the institutions are here right now. The bigger the market cap, the bigger, the more complicated it is to move also the price and the needle to the upside. So I'm not expecting 40%. If we would get 40%, it would be amazing to go up another 36%. I'm going to show you in a moment what that would mean for Bitcoin. But 35% is what I'm expecting here potentially for this month. So here, if we go just by the weekly chart here, where we bounced beautifully from that support zone that I pointed out here over the weekend, where I said, hey, as long as we're holding that, this is a good area to long. So I hope some of you were able to catch that. And now, if we just go from current price, so remember, we're up like 2%. So we need another 28. So actually I have to go higher. So another 28 to 33%. So 28 would bring Bitcoin to around 149,000. And here 33% would be $154,800 approximately, I would say. Yeah, 154,720, 30, something like that. So that is the range. So I'm actually gonna draw this in here for an October return. So 154. And you should do the same, you know, so have zones like that on the chart as potential targets. So 149 there. So this here is right now the October target zone. So if we are historically repeating what Bitcoin usually does in a bull run in October, exit. So here you want to exit if you open now a position. Sorry, I'm still a little bit sick, but I'm doing my best all the time, the whole day, to stay hydrated and make sure that I'm getting better. Usually take a small nap during the day, but yeah, it's getting better, it's getting better. See here on the daily chart, here is another major point that we need to talk about, why $118,000 might be short-term a resistance, and that is the extended golden ratio that we are seeing here. So I just want to make sure if everybody sees me in the chat that everything is going fine, because I did not go and check. So I want to make sure that everything, yeah, so everything is fine here. Great. So the extended golden ratio, $118,100. You can see here already on the lower end, the 1.5 level at 116,659 is acting as a slight resistance. Once we are breaking that, we are not only going to see another short squeeze, no, we are also seeing here this W pattern playing out. And I had posted this morning on Twitter and warned about this, that this is going to play out. I'm going to show you that here on a different chart here. So there's the chart. So here, if you follow me on Twitter, if not, you should go and follow me right now on Twitter, AMCryptoAlex. Yeah, AMCryptoAlex is the handle. So I posted this morning and warned about this, that we are most likely going to see Bitcoin here approaching $117,300 approximately. You can make here a small range to $118,000 here. So these are the two levels that are more or less aligning with the golden ratio that that you should be watching closely right now, because once it is breaking, see the technical target is $126,200. But if you want to play this pattern right now, don't enter right now, guys. Never chase the pump. You know, so we are pumping here on the daily chart. You don't chase the pump. You wait that the price comes up here, breaks above, retraces back to the entry, and then runs off into the technical target. So if you don't get a retrace, that happens from time to time, that you will not get here that retrace, then any slightly small pullback below $120,000 is where you want to scale into your position. So because afterwards that leg to the upside, once it starts moving, it will start moving. You're gonna miss it, you know. So yeah, you have to be really quick with that, and you should set alerts also on that. And then here in terms of a stop loss, let's say you enter a little bit more on the riskier side. You are looking at 7.8% roughly. Then you want to have your stop loss kinda here on that low, and that is a 2.34% stop loss. So if you're looking at 7.78% return, you don't need more than 10x leverage on a trade like that, because you're looking at 80% on that whole position. So I would not use more than 10%, because if you use 20, you're almost losing 50% if that goes against you. Of course, you make also almost make over 155% to the upside, but it is way more risky. So I would not risk that at all. So rather 10%, and you can sleep at night, you know, and you don't need to watch 24/7 your position. Now on the AMDX Algo scalp gradients, also here I see continuation right now unfolding based on the reactor indicator, because I mentioned that we got here these two dot plots on the reactor indicator, which are usually a sign for a retracement. We got a retracement here into the demand zone, bounce back up from this, and get now continuation. And the continuation is also seen in the reactor indicator with that turnaround and that small throttling here that will unfold into another wave to the upside. So, and here you see again 117,800, 118,650. There is a supply area where we have massive sell orders, and this will be the point where Bitcoin most likely is going to stall a little bit, consolidate, the reactor indicator will cool down, and then you're gonna get the push beyond $120,000, and here you get another wave to the upside. So don't expect that we break straight through this. There must be some news related event being happening that could give us that push that we need past that level straight away, or a massive short squeeze. That would be also possible, but without that, I don't see us going straight through here and attack the $120,000 mark. Then here on the liquidation levels, I can only repeat myself. I have told you guys over and over again, watch these levels. They were moving they were targets because all liquidity is stacked to the upside. So now, of course, they are more over leveraged long positions that came now into the market. They will most likely get flushed at some point, but now we are like 4 or 5% away. So in the near term, 4%. In the near term, I don't see that happening, especially with a golden cross coming up here by tomorrow, after tomorrow at some point. I would say Friday. Friday, expect here a golden cross. So with the golden, sorry guys. So with these golden crosses, what I want to mention here is usually, and I have said this before, you can go back to, I think it was in the week where I disappeared, I talked about also golden cross. Did there actually happen a golden cross here somewhere? Yeah, here, Wednesday. That was 2 weeks after that, so but it was actually before. So here was death cross, golden cross. Yeah, so what I know that I said in the past, when you get here these golden crosses, usually price pumps front runs these golden crosses and pumps before, then retraces into the golden cross, and then you get another move to the upside. So I would wait here right now. If you're not scalping and you want to have like a mid to long term position, let the golden cross happen. And if we don't get a breakout on that W pattern with that golden cross, then just wait for price to retrace into that golden cross here potentially, and then you're gonna get a really nice juicy entry for trading the continuation. But of course, if we break here first higher and take out all these levels here, then the W pattern is confirmed and we move higher. And we'll do what we should do with a golden cross and just keep pumping, So, but now in the past, most of the time we have retraced back into these lower levels. So I gotta look quick in the chat. I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm really good. Everything is fine. So here, the next major liquidity zone that we are looking at with over leveraged liquidity is starting at 116,350 to 118,100, $200 approximately. So, and you see we have started to eat into this already. So, and I think we will just keep moving up here. Here's 25 minutes left for the next candle. I think the next candle will take out all these levels and then come down a little bit again, then find support, my drawing skills, sorry. Find support here above that level, consolidate here around this, and then next leg to the upside. On the liquidation levels, so this has of course now massively changed since yesterday because we have taken out a lot of liquidity. But you see here's still a huge build up on the short side. We are about to touch here a massive liquidation zone. Wait, I need to remove that, that's annoying. At $116,775, we're not really far away from that. So here you see what I mentioned yesterday. I said around $114,000, $115,000 expect a short squeeze. That's what we experienced here today. I was unfortunately sleeping. Like I said, I'm still feeling a little bit sick. I'm fine, but exactly in that 2-hour window where everything started moving, I was asleep, but I have luckily positions set up before that are now in a nice profit, and I'm going to show you that also in a moment here, but on my phone, so I forgot to log in here on the laptop, so I'm going to show you on my phone. So here, best case scenario, if Bitcoin starts moving and continue to push here into higher levels, then the last point that I see that we can touch is around $119,000 before Bitcoin starts to pull back here a little bit. So let's go into lower time frames. Like the 30-minute chart, to see where you can actually potentially catch the next move here. So in here, I will tell you this is a little bit risky. I don't like to trade off the 15 minutes chart with pattern that much, because they are not always pretty reliable, you know. So, but you see here, we have here again in an ascending triangle that wants to break out in 8 minutes. So if this is breaking out, so here, this is a small target. Let's see, where does it bring us? To $116,900 approximately, if it breaks out. So most likely in the next candle, it will start to break out. But you have to be really careful with a small pattern like that. So I cannot say that often enough, you know. So here my stop loss would be down here at $116,200. So if I would be trading this, so I would aim for a higher target. So this is just a technical target, it's too small, you know, so that would be a scalp. I need to use here like 100x leverage to make any money, you know. So you could do that, you know, it's like a 2.37 to 1 risk to reward ratio. You could use here 100x, you know, which I normally don't recommend, but you would look here, if you just want to trade that pattern, you would look here at 39% with 100x, but you could lose 17%. I would go and target $118,300, $400, because now you're looking at 1.7%, so you can use a little bit less leverage, which does not mean you should not be aggressive. You know, I would still be a little bit aggressive here and use 50x leverage, but now your risk is only 8.5% against, what is this? This is 85%. So 85% to the upside against an 8.5% stop loss. So now your risk to reward is 1 to 10. So that is an amazing risk to reward scenario here if you would use 50x leverage on a trade like that. Again, you have to manage your risk. If you use so much leverage, never enter a trade like this without having everything set up, you know, so with a proper stop loss and everything, because it can happen really quickly. That price goes up a little bit, bam, you get out, you know. So, and when price goes here to the technical target of $116,900 and you are long with 50x leverage, immediately set your stop loss to your entry, that you don't lose any money anymore. So that's how I would trade that. So be really, really careful again, you know. So you know me, I don't like to use such high leverage, but here with Bitcoin, you can do that from time to time, especially when everything is prone to explode here to the upside with the 1st of October also definitely giving us a lot of fuel in that matter here. Now, on this chart, we have smashed the target that I had given on Saturday, I think. On Saturday, so I hope some of you guys were following that, because you would have entered here between $108,000 to $9,700 approximately, basically here in this range over the weekend. So here, again, if you know how to read the market, you know, so this was for me a pretty safe play in terms of repeating algorithms that you can find in any coin. You know, you can find this in any coin, you just need to know what you are looking for, you know. So here I knew what I had to look for just based on the weekends, you know. So I just looked what happened over the weekends. I saw, okay, into the weekend, prices going down, you know, then into Monday, late Monday, a little bit of chop, then we get a leg to the upside, Tuesday a little bit down, and then we're off to the races. So what did we see here? Exactly the same thing. So you see a Sunday we started to move up, then here Monday continuation, Tuesday we came down, and then continuation to the upside, and we went here exactly to past the point that I had conservatively given you guys of $116,151. You know, so I could have aimed higher, but I aimed for a resistance level, for the next major resistance level, and that was up here. That's what I was aiming for. That it's sometimes that simple, guys. You know, you just look what Bitcoin did in the past over and over and over again over the last couple of weeks. You know, so you look for the same pattern. So, and when you can identify these patterns, then you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. And now I'm actually interested. I have to look today or tomorrow for that. What Bitcoin usually will do over the next coming days, you know. So because, like I said, there are patterns that are keep repeating. You only need to open your eyes and identify them. So if you don't know how to do that, then I have also for something for you, how you can learn that. So unfortunately here in Thailand, my website is not working, so I have to show you that on my phone. Just go, let me make here full screen quick. Go here to AMCrypto.us and sign up for my course. There you can learn everything that you see here on my YouTube channel. Everything what I do is in that course, guys. Everything. So if you want to take your trading to the next level, that's the way to do that. AMCrypto.us. There you can sign up for my courses. I might run a discount next month because there's Black Friday, so maybe a Black Friday discount. Not sure yet if I'm going to do that or not, but potentially I'm going to do that. I don't promise anything, guys. No promises. But yeah, if you want to understand what I'm doing here on a daily basis, that's the best way to actually learn from that. So and now, if you also want to support the channel, then sign up on BloFin. Again, all the trades that I give you here for free. Or trades are for free, and if you want to support the channel, just sign up on BloFin. If you don't have a BloFin account yet, you get a $5,000 welcome bonus if you use BloFin, and it's non KYC. So if you're in the US, that might be the right platform for you, where you can go and trade. And I can tell you already, there is potentially a new exchange coming soon, where we do another $500 to $10,000 challenge. So just also keep there your eyes open. I'm still negotiating with them. That we can do that. So here, the total free market cap is today also going into the resistance area, past the resistance area of $1.09 trillion. Tries to break $1.1 trillion. Currently, we get here a little bit rejected, but I think either today or tomorrow we are going to smash through that. Fairly quickly. Here the Bitcoin dominance is also slightly getting rejected from the 59.27% level. I still expect that we move a little bit higher, but it doesn't mean that altcoins cannot move. So in terms of dollar value, against Bitcoin is different, but in dollar value, they can still, of course, move to the upside. You only need to look here at my watch list. Everything is green here. Everything is massively green. So why is Sonic up 10% today? Because there was something happening at token 2049. I don't know exactly what they talked about. They had their own small panel, conference, whatever you want to call it, today, and that's why Sonic is up here 10% today. So in terms of dollar value, altcoins should do well, and I believe that we're going to see here a small pump in the dominance before we come down and start a proper breakdown over the course of this month. Ethereum also currently sitting below resistance at $4,300. I have explained so many times now why that level is so crucial and why you need to be careful when we are approaching this. Look here, in 1 hourly candle, we pumped to the upside. So I hope some of you were able to catch that, but you had so much opportunity, so much opportunity. You could have entered here on this downward sloping trend line that I talked about, I think even yesterday. Here was another one before that break where you could have entered exactly at the break. So you had a lot of ample opportunity to get in this. Also here, $4,100. I told you that is a level where you can enter, but you need to be careful when we are approaching the VPVR here. And currently we are getting rejected from that VPVR level, or we are kind of like in the middle of it. That's not a full rejection yet. But even if we move here past that, $4,400 is the level to watch right now. That's the next major level for Ethereum to break. But once we're breaking that, new all-time high really soon. So if you're looking for an entry and you're sidelined right now on Ethereum, either 4,400 or any retrace here to 4,200, 4,250 is what you need to look out for before you get the next major move here, because the indicators also telling you clearly that we are ready for another pump in Ethereum here, because the MACD here on the daily chart will print today a buy signal. The RSI is going up, stochastic is going up, and we are still here. We just entered bullish territory on the RSI, so we are not even close to be overbought by any means. So there's still a lot of upside for Ethereum, and I think that this can definitely go here past $5,000 in the next move. Then Solana, also here, I gave you the perfect entry. Look at this. Perfect entry given here. You had also so much opportunity to enter this. at around $205. I just mentioned it yesterday again, you know, so yesterday I told you again, $205, you can enter this, and now we start flying. So here, the next short-term resistance is actually what we're approaching right now, $218, sorry, $218. So if I'm correct here, yeah, $218. So once we are past $118, the next smaller resistance would be here at around $231, and then we are almost past $250. So here, you could technically enter still at $218 if we get past that, but maybe I would wait, let me see here. Yeah, I would potentially wait for a small retrace on the 1 hourly chart. So maybe even on the 15-minute chart. Yeah, 15-minute chart would be better. So here on the 15-minute chart, what you want to look for, and look how much sell orders are up here. So that's why you need to be careful with the next move here in Solana. Most likely Solana will come one more time here to $215 or close to it. So that is a potential entry with a stop loss at $213. So if you are not getting this, then $218 again is the next level of entry, and then $215 is your stop loss. And then you let this ride. You know, worst case, what's going to happen, you get stopped out. It's like a percent of a stop loss, but the target is 200. Basically the old, right? Wrong chart. So for me, the target would be the past high here. So let the chart change here. Yeah. So here. Whoa. Yeah. So come here. So there. $247 would remain my target. You know, so if I would enter here, you will still look at like 13.7% roughly. You know, and your stop loss would be also still fine at $215. Yeah, a 1.6% stop loss. So you can even make this a little bit bigger. You know, so you don't have to be that aggressive with the stop loss. Yeah, 4% stop loss against 13.7% to the upside would be absolutely fine. So your stop loss is at $210 roughly. Yeah, so no issue with that if you miss that move. And on the 4 hourly chart, there's so much more momentum here on stochastic RSI, on the MACD, and also on the RSI pushing it to the upside. So I think Solana is not done running today. I think that will go higher. The next one, DOGE. Also here, I gave you 23.6 cents as an entry. We are up 0.6 cents on that right now, so which is roughly 2%. So again, hope that some of you guys were able to catch that. Here, next entry level, either a retrace to 23.6 cents or a break of 25 cents. I would not enter this before. Yeah, because there is basically nothing in between, you know. So you have to wait that the trade comes to you. So now BNB still trapped here in the golden ratio. Nothing has really changed here. 1040 would be a really good level to be broken here for the BNB ecosystem, because then everything starts flying. That's built on BNB, and that also includes ASTER. So I definitely want to see my ASTER position taking off, but that will only happen once we're breaking the old all-time high here of $1,083 approximately. So, but the good thing is on a daily chart, it looks like that we are setting up for the next leg to the upside. And on the lower time frames, let's have a look here. How things are looking. Yeah, also the 4 hourly chart. The 4 hourly chart looks like that we're going to get a break here. Anytime. So here, the gold ratio is right now a good moment to open a position on BNB, and then you have to look at the next logical targets here based on the Fibonacci levels. So, and that is $1,434. So from current price, that is almost a 40% move to the upside. Yeah, it is a 40.36% move to the upside. You can have also here quite a loose stop loss if you enter this from here. And just use here the higher low as the stop loss. So you have a 9.15% stop loss against a 40% move to the upside. So here you cannot use 20x leverage, guys. You know, you cannot. Even 10 is too much. So, but like 3, 4, 5, you know, so that is what I would use on a trade like that, not more than 5. So, and if you even use 5, once we are here at past the prior all-time high, you need to set your stop loss at your entry level to protect your capital. If you have like 3, 4x on that, you can keep it a little bit more loose and wait that you actually secure profit. And that would be starting, in my opinion, when you are here at $1,200, and then you set your stop loss at $1,100 to make sure that you're walking away with a little bit of money, you know, in any case. Then ASTER. So ASTER was moving down here quite a bit today, but we have here a nice deviation happening right now. The stochastic is not looking all too good, but something that I mentioned many times when I'm trading is that if you have one indicator branching out and the rest is looking good, trust the system and keep exclude that indicator that is not fitting your narrative right now. So this is the stochastic RSI. So I'm not watching right now the stochastic RSI. I see momentum on the MACD, I see momentum on the RSI, and we are not oversold. We just entered bullish territory and a potential breakout here on in terms of price action at $1.73. So once we're breaking here past $1.73 and $1.76 and breaking this downwards sloping trend line that is currently holding us down to move into the golden ratio here to $2 and potentially past that, you can open also here a new position, you know. So because like I said, if you have one indicator misfiring, trust everything else. You have 3 out of 4 things telling you price wants to move to the upside, and only the stochastic is telling you, oh, we are maybe a little bit overextended. Don't trust that. I never do. I basically delete this, you know, so I'm like, no, gone. Everything else is telling me breakout. So, and here we are approaching entry level now for a new position, but I would potentially wait at least a 50-minute candle. Let me see a 50 minutes chart. How is this looking? Yeah, see here 50-minute is potentially also ready to move here into higher levels. Wait for a 50-minute candle to close above $1.73. So if you have one 50-minute candle closing above that, that's your entry. So, and if you're not fast, you might actually miss the next move here. You know, ASTER can move really quick to the upside if there is a little bit momentum coming in and pushing it over the edge. Then ALGO, one of the other coins that's moving today. So, and here's something that I want to point out. I know you guys also are writing coins in the chat. I'm aware of that. But there's a certain set of coins that are forming the same pattern here right now. So, and I'm going to show you these coins specifically, because these are potentially the coins that are moving next. So, and one of them is ALGO. So as you can see here, ALGO is getting held down by this downward sloping trend line currently, by this horizontal line here currently, sitting at 21 cents 77. So once that line is broken, expect that we're going to get another candle, like the current candle, pushing to the upside. So that could literally be happening here in 4 minutes, that this is starting with the next 4-hourly candle. But again, be careful around a 4-hourly candle close and opening, what I said yesterday, where I explained to you guys, I wait 15 minutes into the new 4-hourly candle to decide if I enter that candle or not. So I'm waiting here potentially up to 20 minutes to see if I want to enter this or not. So the next level of resistance where you can take profit then would be all the way up here at 23.7 cents approximately. That is an 8.9% move to the upside. So again, if you want to set up here a trade, a long trade like this, then my stop loss would be roughly, yeah, here, 2 point. So I just want to find a wick here, actually there. Yeah, so a little bit less than 1 to 3, but it's still fine because I can, once we're breaking above the 21.77 cent level, I can move that stop loss a little bit higher, you know, so to protect the position. Once we are here past 22.8 cents, I will set this to break even, and then there's no risk at all anymore in that position. So here is also a downward sloping trend line. So, but you can see already that trend line was broken. You know, it does not matter how you want to draw this, but this trend line was broken. That's why you get here this nice push to the upside. So that's, again, something in a bull run you need to watch out for these downward sloping trend lines. There are so many forming over and over again, and every single time you get a nice pump here to the upside. So, and you don't ever want to try here in the middle to catch that, because usually what happens is you form a high, you get a lower high, then you get a capitulation, then you get a consolidation, and if you want to buy anywhere under that downward sloping trend line, try to buy here in that accumulation, if you can spot that. Again, if you don't know how to spot that, go to amcrypto.us. I explain everything in my course, how to spot things like that. So there is another coin that is doing the same thing. Let me pull it up. Where did this coin go now? Here, Render. Render, same thing. So let me go back. Come on, ALGO. So now I go to Render. You see the resemblance here in that area on the 4-hourly chart? There's a huge resemblance to ALGO. So, and again here, downward sloping trend line, break. So here, you can actually draw this like this. So here, break, pump to the upside, stopping right now at the next resistance at $3.50. Once it goes past $3.50, entry. You want to trade the continuation, because this might not stop until $3.84, $3.80, something like that. You know, so this will start running here to the upside. So I think I had a higher time frame look at this too. Yeah. So here, this downward sloping, yeah. So this massive downward sloping trend line here on that potential massive falling wedge pattern is what you want to watch. So if I draw this here like this, yeah. So it would be technically too early if we approach that line to break out here. So that's why I expect a rejection from that level. If we're going to reach that, back down to like 350, confirm support, another higher low, because here, low, higher low, higher low, and from there, bam, past $4, $4.24, $4.25, something like that. So, but here, that point here, that downward sloping trend line on that falling wedge pattern, I don't see that being broken at the first attempt now when we are approaching this since, 2 weeks ago. I don't believe that this is going to happen. So we can reach $3.85, definitely, but I don't see us breaking out straight away. Maybe we are deviating above this, come back down, you know, so and then get $3.50 once again. So if you set a trade here, $3.85, 10% to the upside, and then here top side, a little bit lower than that, kind of here, yeah, so there's fine. So almost a 1.4 risk to reward ratio, 10% to the upside, 2.5% to the downside. Again, not more than 5 to 10x leverage on a trade like that, you know, so I would not do that. So here, new 4-hourly candle just opened, trying to push here past $3.50. Again, I'm watching that on the 50 minutes chart to be safe. So I want to see, but this looks actually good. That looks really good actually when I see this here. Because I'm not saying enter this right now, so don't do that. Don't try to front run me here on that trade. But here is a small bull pennant. So and that bull pennant could turn out quite big if it breaks. $3.68 roughly if it breaks to the upside. But again, first 15 minutes, I'm looking what's happening in these first 15 minutes before I'm deciding if I want to enter this or not. So, so let me see. I'm gonna go quick just for a second to Bitcoin. Oh yeah, Bitcoin. Bitcoin wants to know now. You know, here, look at this pump here. Bitcoin really wants to know now what's going on here. Oh wow, take profit signal. Yeah, so if this is not pushing higher, quickly and this take profit signal goes away, I would be cautious a little bit, you know, so that is a sign of exhaustion. So yeah, be careful around this. Guys, I was here for over 30 minutes, I think. Thank you so much for tuning in here once again. I will be back tomorrow, so don't worry about that. After tomorrow, I have to check, I'm not sure. Maybe after tomorrow there's no stream. I have to check, I'm not sure, but then of course afterwards, every single day, once again. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you with more money tomorrow.